of strange, right? Because I mean, in your case where you're doing a lot of freelance work, it's like you sometimes, I don't know about what it is for you, but you can get caught into just working all the time. That like a break just turns into actually something you're doing for your job.
I know it is. Like just yesterday, I had like a nap at maybe 8 p.m. and then because the conference is coming up and also the holiday, I I woke up like 9 p.m. and I was like, "Oh, I'm feeling great. Let's get to work."
It is.
So I worked until like half 12 in the
Oh my
night.
god, bro.
Had a great session. Really got loads of stuff done. Really set me up for the weekend to be a bit more chill than I expected, like midweek at some point.
You're like, oh my god, I'm actually done all of this. Holy shit!
Yeah.
It it's strange though because it takes a lot to be independent, and I think unfortunately what happens a lot of the times people forget to do things that they're passionate about. Like there are ways of being able to do things that can give you a feasible income. They can give you a pretty bright future, a career path that you can work towards. And I think we get caught into a lot of the times just these monetary gains in the sense of where
Yeah.
you need a steady paycheck. But when you're in that and you're making that passion a success, it's like that is your life. That this is who you are, this is what you do. It's like literally 12:30, like when every other motherfucker is sleeping. You're not.
On a Friday night,
On a fr-
the night coming to a bank holiday. So today is not only the weekend in Germany, it's also a bank holiday. So everyone's off and I'm working like late and I'm working today as well.
I wouldn't necessarily call this work, but I know what you mean though. Like I'm sure you have other stuff as well, but like I think it's just so incredible to be able to get into that headspace where you just don't give a shit about what other people are thinking because
Mhm.
you're doing something that's meaningful to your own career and to your own success. I mean, we talked about this before. I think it's really incredible to know your skills and what you can adapt and retry and figure out different ways of making it work because clearly, I
Mhm.
mean, you told like clearly you figured out a formula that works pretty well for yourself.
Yeah, but also what was interesting, what you just said really triggered something in me because right now I'm going through a bit of a shift where before, like thinking like 4 years ago, I would be happy about every job that came in, and I would really need those jobs to come in as well. Like, when you try to make your passion something that you can live off, you usually have to start by doing a few bits here and there where you're not too passionate about them. Like especially for me in photography and videography, I had to take some jobs that hindsight, they're horrible jobs. They paid some bills, they were important, they made sure that I didn't go into red digits, but they had a lasting impact on me and my work as well. Whereas now I need to start getting into the headspace of, well, I already have enough jobs for next year. I'm booking 2027 right now. So I could just chill a bit when it comes to like the holiday coming up, right? But I'm still in that grind mentality of trying to get there, even though I kind of just reached it, you know?
Right. Transition transition phase.
Oh,
It's
yeah, 100%.
it kind of reminds, I don't know if you've ever watched, like there is a TV series called The Twilight Zone, and it almost can feel like a Twilight Zone episode where, the narrator is standing there and you're like, "Yo, dipshit, this is my life." And they're giving like a whole synopsis of like a person going through that period of where they've successfully made it, but they don't believe it. What happens next after this commercial break? It's kind of like that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
and
odd. It's
I
peculiar.
feel like a lot of freelancers that I see around me, they get caught in that grind mindset and they don't get to get out of it ever again. Like you become this like just grinding for jobs, keep grinding more, building further. Um where I think at some point you need to find like a good balance where you can look at yourself and also your business again in a way that it gets sustainable so that you can do it for a long time. Like I don't think I'm going to take pictures for the rest of my life. I think I'm going to be an entrepreneur for the rest of my life, but I need to make sure that I can do it for the rest of my life. I have had some injuries over the past 2 years, which probably came just from me going a bit too far on everything. So I just had like a back injury, and every time I injure myself, those words from my uncle come to my head where he's like, "It's cool that you're doing what you like. Make sure you can do it when you're 50 and maybe till you're 60." And I'm like, ah, fuck, that's so far away. But he's right.
Yeah.
He's 100% right. If I kept going at the pace that I was going through the past like 2, 3 years, maybe, and if I wouldn't slow down now a little bit, I would probably be out of this job or like burnt out in the next few years.
Yeah, which is very much understandable. I think we humans have a tendency of allowing fear to control us a lot of the times. We make a lot of very poor decisions because of fear and be able to accomplish things that we don't necessarily see that we can accomplish. But at the same time, it's where I've said this so many times, it's like a double edged sword. You have one side that can slice you open like a fish. And then if we're talking Japanese style over here, one side is dull, so it's not going to slice you open up as a fish. It's being able to get that balance. And I don't think anybody has the exact answer. I think you have to figure that out on your own, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But in general, it feels good like being at the spot where like to-do lists get checked off and like goals get checked off. Don't get me wrong. It is like I always had on my whiteboard next to my desk, I had a checklist of like for next year, what do I want to achieve? I'm always thinking in like a seasonal, since my wedding business is very seasonal, my marketing business is, well, it's an ever growing thing, right? So since I have that seasonality with the wedding business, I always think, what can I do now to improve the season that I'm booking right now, which usually is the next year's season. Um, Now I'm at the point where it's 2 years in advance, because I already checked off my little to do, which was get enough money in to survive the year, basically. And I had a checklist of how much I already have in bookings. And I told myself in the beginning of the year, it might have been February, if I don't get this full by December, then I will have to look for another job because it's been a while now, been a freelancer for a while. So if I'm not getting stable next year, then I think I need to look for something else where I will be able to provide for family, right? Because I was chasing a dream, and if it didn't work out, that's it. That's fine. I could still do it as a part-time job. Great part-time job. It's a tough full-time job. So I finished crossing that off, I think like 6 weeks ago, maybe seven. So that felt sick. So I like redid the whole whiteboard because I already completed my year.
Before the year even finished.
Yeah. And it was, I think it was like beginning of September,
Yeah. If anybody
maybe end of August.
if anybody says that the universe is a fear creature, I beg to differ. You know, the universe is one of those things where it is either a nasty son of a bitch or it just slips you a nicky when you're not looking.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's like we think so many times that we're in control with how things interact around us, but we're really not in control.
No, we're not. No. Like I strongly believe in God, and I think he he's taught me a few lessons over the past few years, 100%. But he also like got me through a lot of shit that could have ended way worse than it actually did. Like I have this massive desk that I'm working on right now. So you have the camera up here, you have a light here, you have two massive speakers, screens, editing desks, tons of hard drives, fast ones, slow ones for recovery, PC, microphone, everything. And it's huge. It's actually massive, as your president would say. Well,
It's gonna be the biggest
I needed
table.
to,
It's the biggest table in the world. I can't do a
yeah,
good Trump. I'm sorry.
no.
That's close as you can get.
So I needed to get my LAN cable. Sorry, might have cut out there. And needed to get my LAN cable underneath the table. So I needed to lift it up. And I was alone. And I crouched under, pushed up, and tore a muscle in my back. So, yeah, as you do when you're lifting up an extra 100 kilos to to your body weight with your just your back, don't do it. Don't do it. But I just wanted a fast solution, and I think that could have ended so much worse. Like I could have like fully popped a disc or something, which like a fully slipped disc could have been the end of my like career,
It's
basically.
it's devastating. I mean, man, I used to skate and I stopped skating because I made a very poor decision of listening to Patti Smith, which I no longer recommend to anybody to listen unless you're asking for a death sentence. And I had a bone contusion in my knee, and it's hilarious. It's like, it's probably been like 2 years. It's like I can walk perfectly fine now, but it's like those random just times of the month, and it's just like, again, it's just damn, man. It's We are so much not in control of anything that happens. And what I find so funny is, right, the situations where you wonder to yourself, how the hell are you going to pull this off? And then a week goes by, 2 weeks go by, 3 weeks go by, and you're just like shitting your pants. Okay. There's no public bathroom. Like, there's nowhere you can go. Like, this is just full public scenery. And it kind of just figures itself out. It's that what the fuck moment. It's like, where were you 3 weeks ago? It's like, I
Yeah,
got 2 weeks left over here. I got a week. I got 3 days.
yeah,
It just happens.
yeah.
I mean, obviously, like you're doing some input. Like, it's not just like you're just sitting around and twiddling your thumbs. But you get my point over here. It's like
100%.
when you decide
It's
you
that
want
guy
something.
like digging for the diamonds, right? And you keep digging, and you're like, I should have been there. Probably missed it, right? Or like the gold. I think there was like some story in that. What's that book called again? Think and Grow Rich, right? I think the entry, one of the first chapters is about this family dropping everything, going into gold digging because they found something, right? And they calculate everything. They buy huge equipment. They dig and dig and dig, and it doesn't it doesn't come through. And then some engineer, he recalculates. He's like, you miscalculated where it's going. I don't know what it's called in English, but where the actual like proper amount of gold is hidden.
Mhm.
and it was like inches from where they dug, and he bought the property and all the gear for pennies and found all the gold. And it was just that they miscalculated and they were so close. And they were going for years and they were like, nah, can't do it anymore. And that's,
Amazing.
yeah, I felt pretty similar when it came to the content pieces that I designed. Like they were getting me some traffic, they were getting me some inquiries, but they didn't get the boom that I expected over 4 years, I think. And then I just repurposed them on TikTok and bang, they like went
Blew up.
super viral. Like even some old stuff, some stuff that I recorded like 2 3 years ago, they got like 1,000 views on YouTube, which is great.
Serious.
Don't get me wrong. They were 1,000 very targeted views. They were about stuff that really like only people watch if they're really interested in buying what I offer. But they got hundreds of thousands on TikTok, which got then people jumping over to YouTube, watching the full stuff, jumping over to my website, booking me.
It's crazy. I think also what I think is just wild to take into account, we talked about this before, and how on average of how much people are charging for your services, specifically with
Yeah,
photography. And I mean, you're charging a lot more than what they're charging. And yet that's not stopping you from getting booked. And you know, I love those Americans that's like, screw America, let's move to Europe. It's cheaper, it's better. Okay. I think you can maybe burst the bubble for a lot of Americans.
yeah.
Europe
You
is
don't earn
not
as much as
cheap.
well.
Yeah, Europe is not cheap. I'm sorry. It's not. Not at all. Petrol
No,
prices are through the
I definitely.
roof. Buying a house is like, yeah, it's cheap, but then you got to spend like God knows how many, like probably over tens of thousands of euros just to fix some of these houses.
It, how much are houses like? If you're thinking like what is a range for like a family house that is not like crazy crazy in the US?
These days, it's like 300,000 to 400,000 US dollars.
Yeah, I think we're more expensive when it comes to housing prices
Really?
because we have less space. You couldn't get like I'm pretty sure. So the houses, like family houses here, they're easily 500K plus.
500,000 euros.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because we have less space, right? You have you have in comparison to like how many people you have living in your country, you have insane amounts of space. That's why you have parking lots like we sometimes don't have parking lots because there's no space.
Yeah.
We have huge problems when it comes to infrastructure. That's why our trains are like that's why we can have trains because it's not far. Right?
Oh,
For you guys
God.
building a train system in America, that takes like obviously here it takes ages as well because you need to tear down stuff to build train tracks. You guys would have the space, but the distances are insane.
Insane. Now, and the other caveat is also like with fuel prices. You know, petrol in Germany or any part of Europe is not cheap. There's a reason
Oh no.
why a lot of people drive diesel vehicles in Europe.
Mhm. Yeah.
There's a reason. You know, it's not just there is a reason for a lot. That's why I think this idea of the grass is greener on the other side
Oh
is
yeah.
like, so what? You're more expensive, but yet you're more booked than most of these other people.
Mhm.
So it's not price. Obviously, I mean, price has a factor, but it's not like that's not the only. I mean, if you're doing it, there's a reason why you're being successful at it. It's not just what you're
Mhm.
charging.
Yeah. It's 100%. So I think in every service-based business, there is, well, we have some service-based businesses in Germany where there's not enough people doing it, so you get booked out as much as you want. And I don't understand why they're not raising prices, because they should be, because they're getting looked down on, especially some like handyman work that not many people do right now, and it's not seen as a good job, basically. But there's not enough people doing it. Why not just charge double? Because and have less clients, maybe like only three quarters booked out, right? So you can spend some more time with your family, and you're still earning more, and you can get to like clients are complaining that you can't get a handyman for the next months, right?
Mhm.
So why not raise your prices and say, well, I cost double, but you can book me for in 2 weeks. If you're not booking me, you can book someone else, but they're not coming for the next 3 months, right?
No.
So I think that's a job that also cannot be taken by AI. It's a very reliable job for the future. You could even, I heard some guy talk about, you could have a website where people can bid on when you're coming to them. So if you get outbid, like you can outbid someone for them to come tomorrow, right?
Oh wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
And this could lead to a problem because some people would never get the like you would never get to them because they bid too low. But it would work, I think.
You are
I think people would pay that.
you
And if they're doing it well as
oh my
well,
god.
it's a good business, right?
Oh my god.
It's a win-win.
This man is a monstrous fucking marketer. I'm telling you right now.
I
Like,
am
it is just vicious. Like, this man has had. He's spent time. He's had a cork board with all the pins, figuring out all the goddamn pieces. Holy shit! Like, just the
I
way that you
think yeah,
broke
I
that
think
down
handyman
is just
have
like
have are
Jesus.
sleeping on the job right now. Like they should be the richest people in
Oh
Germany.
my god, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
because they have not enough jobs. In other service-based businesses, usually you have either the demand and expectation is really like equal.
Yeah,
In our line of work, we have tons of freelancers that don't do it professionally. They do it like a part-time kind of gig,
yeah,
because you don't need to have a certain certificate to do it,
yeah.
which is very different for a lot of other jobs in Germany, especially in the handyman, like groundwork kind of scene. You need to have a.
We call it here in the States blue collar.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
blue collar
yeah,
work.
I
Yeah,
heard about that. Yeah, yeah. So blue collar workers in Germany, you need to have a certificate to have your own um, company, basically.
mhm.
I'm not sure how that is in America,
It's pretty much
but
the
here you need
same.
to go
It's
through.
the same thing in here in the United States. Like any kind of blue
Okay.
collar work, generally, it's interesting because we have the same thing with handymen here in the States. They don't usually need a certification as long as you have like experience and clientele. But they do charge
Yeah.
double
Okay.
here. They do charge double here. That's the only
Okay.
difference. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you need a certificate here to start your company.
Right.
You need to have like a 2 year like base degree, and then you need to do another 2 year degree to like the base degree is to work in that field, and the second degree is to make your own company, right?
Right.
You don't need that as a photographer. So there is tons of people that just have a website and an Instagram profile saying, "I'm a photographer. I can take pictures at your wedding." And they don't need to show much, right? Because everyone just shows their best pictures. And we have the saying, if I directly translate it, even a blind chicken also finds a worm at some point, right? So if you take 4,000 pictures at a wedding, you will have two good pictures. Doesn't matter how good you are, you'll find a good one. You'll be lucky.
Yeah.
Whereas the professional photographers, their worst picture that they deliver is probably better than 90% of the pictures that part-time photographer delivers,
It's just
which
it's
is
hilarious.
crazy.
It's
It's like
crazy.
it's pretty similar to like right now I feel like in sports, since technology has evolved so much, the top teams, they are so much better than the like top top 1% teams.
Yeah.
The difference between that is so much bigger than like the top 1% team to like a top 50% team.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like in soccer, you might say.
I call it football.
Literally the
I'm
okay, okay.
Moroccan. I'm North African. We call it football.
Okay, yeah. So in football, like the top 5 teams, they are so much insanely better than the top 20 teams of the world,
Mhm.
which is crazy to me. Like I've just last week I've been to Frankfurt versus Liverpool in the stadium, and it it felt like they were playing against a child's team. And Frankfurt is stomping 5-1 on like Besiktas and stuff. They have some serious potential, but they got dumpstered. And I'm pretty sure, like, I feel like the same is the case in photography because
Yeah,
the bar
if you if you
is getting raised so much right now.
if you put
Like,
those
so many
2
people are getting so much better.
yeah, like, to your point, when it's like having those 2 people stand side and side, right? You can see one side of that Instagram, but if you compare it to somebody else that outshines and outperforms, it's like night and day difference. Like, I'm not trying to, sugarcoat and give you a crown, but if we take your work, Jonathan, and compare it to some of these other people, it's night and day difference.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like there, because I think what happens we forget is a long time ago when photography became a thing, it was a craftsmanship. It was like you had these clunky 8x10 cameras and you had to stand still and you had to be somebody that understood lighting to a certain degree. And then we kind of entered a period in like the 50s and 60s where people were able to play around with Polaroids. They're able to play around with mixed media and art with using, different like cellophane frames and lenses and things to play around with colors. So there was kind of that niche that came out of it. And it's like we've entered an age, I probably for the past 28 to 30 years, which we've had digital DSLRs and digital cameras and photography and more programming and things where it's kind of been easier to cheat the system a little bit. It's just you could just throw up a website, buy a camera off of eBay, you know, um, take some lighting or whatever that's maybe 50, $60 and call it a day and just keep doing the same shit over and over again. Or you could kind of do the same thing, take a completely different approach.
Yeah. And what I think is gonna happen with all the AI influence that we have in the industry right now is I feel like the gap is getting like even wider because the entry level is so much easier and it's so easy to get it to that 20% level, right?
Hmm.
Because the AI will help you. Those cameras, they focus for you. They find every eye of every animal that you can think of. So to get there is so easy. But to get from there to where like the top level photographers are, there's such a huge gap that not many people will take the time and effort to go all these hard steps to reach that like top 10%. And you will not see much of a difference between that 20% photographer and a 50% photographer and a 60% photographer. Because that 60% photographer will not be able to do the same differentiation that a top 10% will be able to do.
Hmm.
So it's going to be really tough for everyone in the middle,
Yeah.
like really, really tough. And either you need to climb up that ladder, go like as hard as you can, or go as cheap as you can, as much as you can, which is
It's
sad.
It is. I mean, You were touching on this before with blue collar work. With people that are in trades, and when it comes to working, like I could talk, for example, on my side, where I'm starting my career also as an automotive technician, and I'm kind of pivoting towards a German brand. I'm working for BMW, and what I kind of appreciate with that is you have a brand that is very German. Their whole structure is extremely sense to where, okay, you're in America, but you're following our rules. You're doing what we tell you to do. We don't give a shit that you don't speak German. We don't give a shit that you don't like our acronyms. We don't give a shit that you don't like our systems are slow and they're full of electronics and computers. We don't care. You're going to do it our way, or you don't have a place. But the really interesting thing that a lot of people forget is you can be that person, like you said, the 10%. You could work for a local shop, you could work for Toyota, you can work for another brand. You have work that's coming in all the time and you're doing pretty much the same different things. Or you could be above that 50%. You could be in that 70 and 80% where you pick something that's extremely difficult, that's really hard, but yet the knowledge that you're getting, and the same thing applies with AI and its technology advances. The more you engulf yourself with that, and the better you enhance yourself with technology, the better you are in that trading field because you are light years ahead of. Like, I'll be straight up and honest. Like, you take a BMW master technician and compare them to a Toyota master technician. That BMW technician has worked with so many electrical gremlins and problems through the wazoo that they've gone through and figured out exactly how these systems work. So you can have, like, oh my god, my computer does everything for me. But this person knows exactly what that computer is going to do. It's light
Yeah,
years ahead.
yeah, yeah. 100% feel you so much. That is exactly what's happening here as well. And I feel like that's happening in marketing as well.
Hmm.
And people will get dumpstered for it. Like they're using automated ChatGPT content for their website, which is yeah, it kind of is working sometimes for a short period of time.
You need human input. That's just the fact of AI. Like, I know people say like, "Oh, AI is going to take over." It's artificial intelligence. It's a language-based format. It needs human input.
Yeah, 100%. Like as soon as half the internet is filled with LLM content, it will get dumber and dumber from itself. So that's why they're gonna. If you're thinking, oh, I'm ranking on Google right now with all my ChatGPT, SEO, whatever, you're not going to do that for a long time because at some point they will figure out a way of discerning human content from LLM content even better than they do right now.
Yeah.
Right now, they're already rating it the lowest rating. If they have these like rating people that go through websites, and they're also already ranking it the lowest possible score if they see it's AI, and you can see it so easily. Like, just remove your M dashes. That would help a lot already. Get rid of all the like super marketingy sounding words, like extremely. It doesn't work.
No.
Your website will get blacklisted as non-human content and therefore lose traffic in the long run because LLMs don't want to surface content from other LLMs, and everyone's becoming an LLM over time. So,
Yeah. I th-
yeah,
I think that also when it comes to even podcasting, because I don't necessarily think that I'm the greatest podcaster, but I think some of the elements that you learn is also from real life. In the sense where when in this field specifically, when I'm interacting and having conversations, for example, with managers, colleagues, friends, and then also having the ability to be able to speak to the other artists, you have an input and an education and understanding of being able to build from that. You have a database, your own personal database to be able to work with. The amazing thing about AI is you have these tools that you can use to enhance the work that you're already doing. It's like your work speaks for itself. So how do you take that work and then elevate it to where you can get it to a place that you want? Like, how many podcasters are way more successful than I am because they choose all the clickbait, choose the top trends and the conversations that you should try to avoid because, the algorithm will like you a little more. Yeah, that's boring as fuck. I don't know about you, but I'm not interested.
I sometimes I'm a bit interested because I always want to try out everything marketing related,
Right.
but I want to do the stuff that I want to do. So I'm not, yeah, sometimes I get sucked into all the trends, but I want to I'm always like I'm interested in so many things, so why bothering with the trends as well anyways?
Yeah. I mean, especially like if you're able to meet or have a project where you're able to do a wedding, and you have a couple where, you know, the wife has this whole backstory and she's like a painter, and you have, for example, I'm just giving you random examples, but like, example, the husband, like he's a florist or something like that. That's something
Yeah,
that
happened.
it is so funny. Okay, so we got a florist and then we got a painter.
Yeah?
Wow. Okay.
Tell me more about it.
I,
I wanna I wanna see how you're if it's actually happening.
where you have this couple where you can kind of get an idea of what they're trying to come up with. You're able to use their elements and their environment to really capture who they are and what they're becoming. You know, they can have a whole life ahead of them. For example, where the wife, they could have a child that's coming along and she figures out to paint a nursery, or the husband's one of those that tries to be there for his wife and brings her, a set of lilies or orchids, every single week or something like that. That, there's an age old saying that's really true. A picture speaks 1,000 words. And unfortunately, on the flip side, that is very marketable. It is. It's very marketable. It's like, oh, wow, painter, florist. Okay. Let me check this out. Where did they pick their wedding venue? Ooh, I should book there too. Oh my God, there's mountains in the background. Yes, please. Was I accurate at all, or just the painter and the just the floor? Yeah, they just
It was just the painter and the florist, yeah.
I was close though.
Yeah, and I always feel honored if other artists are, like, messaging me about their wedding, right? Because I feel like, yeah, I don't always see myself as an artist that much. I often see myself more as, like, a craftsman, reacting to whatever's there. But when there's artists come in being like, "Oh, yeah, we love you because you have such an artistic voice," and I'm like, "My what?" But
That's
yeah,
hilarious.
feels good. Thanks for the
Oh
compliment.
my God. It's like,
Let's talk about your wedding.
yeah, exactly. It's like, did you see my portfolio? Did you check out my website? Because it's not just my voice. Like I do talk and have conversations and do make videos, but there's like other stuff that I am actually pretty good at it as well. But I do appreciate the sentiment. Oh gosh. People are funny that way sometimes. It's like you'd expect them
Yeah.
to tell you something completely different and then they just come out with that shit. And you're like, "Oh, okay. Cool. I'll take it."
Yeah, I literally came home, so it was a rainy, nice and orange autumn day out there. Um, very autumny, very Novembery, and I just had I have these like getting to know engagement shootings with oh sorry, not a word I'm allowed to say in English. Um, photo experience. No algorithm likes that word.
Mm.
Um,
No
so we
algorithm likes
just
that word. So true. This is from a man that's done a
yeah.
lot of experience. I
Oh yeah,
promise
it's
you.
so many Google.
Google searches, do not look at his history tab. Holy shit! It's
Oh no, no,
16,000.
not searches, not my like Like when people like give me testimonials on Google, right?
Mhm.
They tend to write that word and it gets blocked every time. It's just taken out. They don't if they say that word for taking pictures, then there's no review left. So I have like 35 reviews, I'm pretty sure. I had a look
Interesting.
today, and I'm pretty sure I got over 50.
With the word
Yeah,
experience. Damn.
happens. Yeah.
Is
Um,
is our
it's a tough time.
overlords trying to tell us something?
Yeah. Yeah, so we just walked about and they said, "Yeah, every time we see your new Instagram post, we're like so happy that we booked you. You can always see it's your picture even before we see it's your name." And I'm like, "How? Couldn't do that." But
Hidden messages.
probably by looking out.
Yeah. I think though it's honestly like it's a healthy dose because I think what you said about the difference between an artist and a a crafter. I think there's a lot of similarities. I've had this question come up before because, I've had people that have come onto this podcast and they were like, but I'm not an artist. And I'm like, but you kind of are. Yeah, but no, I'm not. Like for example, I had a writer that came onto this podcast. I had also like a vocal coach, and I'm just like, you are artists to a certain. Look, I've said this before, and I'll say this again. Anybody can do this. Anybody can sit in front of a microphone. Anybody can go on eBay and buy a DSLR camera. Okay, or they take out their smartphone. Anybody can do this shit. But to be able to be a craftsman of your work, to be able to figure it out in your own and doing what you want to do because it's something that you're passionate about, that is a whole different story. That's not something that happen. I'm sorry, like that doesn't happen, on the TikToks with the part 1, part 2, part 3. Okay? Part 1 could be 2 years, part 2 could be 6 years, and part 3 could be 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. And I most of the time don't consider myself an artist either. Like I think I am usually obeying tons of rules that I learned and applying them to situations. So I
Crafting them.
have read some great photography books. I have been to great workshops, and I just try to be in the moment and capture it the way that it is, which is tough. And also make it a little bit like maybe something cool here and there.
Have a little fun, just dabble into the
Yeah,
pixie dust.
yeah.
I think being able to also have a wild side is really important because it allows you to explore and imagine and be able to create. And
Oh yeah, I feel like creating is hugely important. Like I that's why I studied mathematics in the beginning because it is just you learn a basic, you learn how to express yourself and build a logical structure, right? And then it's just a free playing field of um figuring out riddles basically, right?
Mhm.
So you have an idea. This could be a rule, but I have no way to prove it. So find a way to prove it, right? And I feel like it's the same in all I feel like creative jobs and science jobs are very similar in that way. That you're trying to find a creative solution that no one has ever thought about before you. And on a wedding day, that is 1,000 solutions on a single day with
1,000 scenarios.
100 people walking around, the lighting being different, 100 variables. and you're trying to figure out the solution to get to the next stage, prove what your experience of the day felt like to an audience that hasn't been there or wants to remember it.
You turned a wedding into a mouth.
Yes,
It's like wedding equals math. What is the equation?
it is. Yeah,
But I mean, it's kind of look. I'm one of those like I failed hard on math, and I just do not do well with numbers for a variety of reasons. Maybe it's still dyslexia or just numerous other things, but it does take into account for a lot of different things. You know, it's where there are laws of physics and gravity for a reason. It's not there to punish you. It's because it doesn't give a shit about you and it just exists.
yeah.
And it's like, especially when you talk about something like that, you have 100 variables. It is very hard to predict the outcome. I mean, you can
You can't.
hypothesize. You can't till it happens.
Have you seen Three Body Problem, the Netflix show?
No, fill me in, please.
So underrated. It's the most expensive Netflix show ever produced. It was sick,
What's it about?
and it yeah, I shouldn't explain it. You it's about the three body problem, but it's better that you don't know what that is.
Okay, so this is basically like a sneak peek instead of a spoiler.
Um, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So it basically talks about why I just remembered it is you cannot predict what happens in a solar system that has. Oh, no, I shouldn't say it.
Listen,
Shouldn't say it. Otherwise, you're getting spoiled so hard, and
I'm
everyone
not. I'm
listening
not.
should
I'm
really.
not telling you to spoil it. You know, you wanna get a little sneak peek. You wanna give a little
Well,
breadcrumbs. You want
it's
a little
tough.
cookies.
You can not predict some things that have three variables. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
And having 100 is impossible.
S-
And that's a little bit what it's about. And everyone should go watch it. Not an ad, but it's sick. And I just remembered it, and I kind of want to watch it again tonight.
I mean, I think at this point, I don't think that's a bad idea. I mean, you might get sucked in there. It might be up until 4 a.m. in the morning, but hey,
Probably
yeah.
probably am.
I listen. It's there are shows that are like that, and it just drives me crazy because I really love them. But
Mhm.
when it does that to you, where you're just like, "Holy shit! It's almost the morning, and now I got like 3 hours."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Have you watched Lupin? It's a European show, so you probably haven't heard of it.
Is that the one that's in French?
Yeah,
It's with that.
but it's
It's with that guy that's
yeah,
yeah that breaks into the Louvre and all those.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's absolutely amazing. I was the brave one that watched it in French with the English subtitles.
That's crazy.
It's
That is legit crazy, but I love that show. That was really, really good as
it
well.
sounds. I'm like it's weird. It sounds better in French.
Are you a little bit turned on by him?
No, I'm basically my whole family speaks French, so
Oh,
it's like when
oh yeah, fair. Oh yeah, you said you're Moroccan, right?
yeah, I'm French Moroccan. I'm like
Oh yeah, fair.
so
Yeah.
it's just so weird because like my family they speak snobby French. That's like the best way I can explain it. It's just very snobby. So like when you're like
Mhm.
hearing the different accents of French, you're like, okay, all right, I gotta just reflect and like you said, like see all the other variables that you're sometimes refusing to see. But it turns out that is actually completely accurate. That happens all the time in France. I mean, it literally happened a few weeks ago, so I thought that was just completely bonkers and unrealistic. But turns out it's a real thing. It is a real
It's a real
thing.
thing. There was so many people like making rumors that it didn't actually happen. It's just the best advertisement for Lupin Part 4. I've seen so many tweets about that. It made me laugh so hard. because they were so obvious. They was they walked in on it like a bank holiday when the Louvre was open with a flipping like crane, right? And some high vis vests. Like everyone was joking about that high vis vest gets you into everything. I'm not sure if you've seen any TikToks of people getting into like Super Bowls and
It's
stuff.
hilarious, bro. Like people just
And now they're stealing the crown jewels of France.
oh
Like
my
there's this one like German rapper, he made like a song out of it, being like, yeah, apparently two of us got
god.
got picked up. It doubles my income. Let's go.
Oh my god.
So he's making little skits about them, and he's just in black with a high vis vest.
My god.
It's kind of funny.
It is just it's bonkers, man, because like you wonder to yourself, people figure out a way of making a living, you know? It's like it's like hilarious because I think one of the craziest things that's come out of social media is just how easy it is to just take advantage of the system. And
Hmm.
I'll touch on this like I said before. What I'm doing is I'm literally taking advantage of an industry right now here in the States that's missing 600,000 workers.
Hmm.
The automotive industry is short right now. So my
That's crazy.
yeah, so my little cheat sheet is I'm not working for an American company. I'm working for a company that actually pays you
Mhm.
because it's European and they don't really give a shit about America. They'll throw money into America, but they're just like, "We'll take care of you. You don't work for an American company." And I'm like, "All right, cool." Gotta just seriously, you gotta learn on how to cheat the system. It's like if you're gonna invest your time and effort into something, and I think that kind of plays into also with marketing. It's like not only understanding the variables and understanding you can't predict them, but figuring out which variables are the ones that you can manipulate the most.
Yeah, 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 100%.
Damn, I just got cold. Well, that felt good.
Yeah, I like that.
Mm.
Like for final take, I really like finding the marketing channels that no one is using in your industry to show something, because I have so many of my colleagues telling me the stuff that I'm doing will not reach the right clients, right? And those are not people that have no knowledge, right? They're making, most of them are making more money than I am, frankly, but they've been doing it way longer. And they have learned it the way that they're doing it right now.
Yeah,
And they're not really thinking too much outside of the box when it comes to marketing.
yeah.
And if you're the only one showing up in that channel, there will be some people there, probably, right?
Hmm.
If even if it's just 5 a month, and from that, let's say 60 a year, if 5 of them are actually your target audience, then you got 5 more clients because you're the only one there.
Yeah.
Why bully your way into this huge, like, being on Instagram as a photographer, right? Everyone's there. It's the photo app.
Hmm.
Being on Pinterest, everyone is there. Being on Google, everyone has a website, but most of them are shit. Being targeting keywords for tiny cities, no one is there. I'm ranking for everything and everyone. I'm ranking for little towns where only 10 people a month are searching for a wedding photographer. Well, even for the little towns that have the richest people in Germany living there. So everyone else, you should be watching there. Check this town out. It
Hmm.
has 60% of clients for big budget weddings every year. You know, everyone who lives there earns easily 100K plus. So
They can afford it.
why is no one targeting it?
Yeah,
Because they're lazy and they wouldn't know where to look, right?
yeah, 100%.
And also, targeting like okay, this is drifting off into SEO too much right now, but
No, I mean, man,
I'm ranking
you've
for a keyword where I've never been before because I outsmarted them a little bit, right? Because everyone thinks if you're getting married in the Mediterranean, right? Your couples are speaking English. Well, they are, but they might Google it in German.
mhm,
Think about it.
yeah.
Even if it's not many, think about it. I just booked 3 clients off a tiny website that is ranking for a certain keyword in German that is very interesting
Which German
because it includes
let me ask you, which German word? Is it one of those
yeah,
long
there's probably no one here listening, right? Um, basically, Tuscany wedding photographer, but in German.
interesting.
Yeah,
That's so
because if
that's
people are
so
Googling this,
bizarre.
they want to get married abroad, which makes them already like top 10% richest people, and they are looking for someone who to also come there.
You've done
Yeah,
have you
but
done that? You've flown out?
yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I've had a wedding in Sicily 2 years ago. No, last year. That was pretty sick. I'll
Yeah,
have
Sicily's
a
beautiful.
few Italian weddings next year and the year after. And well, that's not far.
No, I know.
That's like
It's a 2-hour
going to
flight.
Italy from here.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
2-hour flight
No,
tops.
not even an hour.
Like an hour?
Yeah. 2
Oh,
hours
right,
Morocco.
because depending on where you are in Germany, if you're all the way up north, it's
Yeah, yeah.
probably like an hour and a half to 2 hours, but if, like, you're all the
Yeah,
way
yeah.
down s
Yeah,
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 yeah.
okay.
No, no, I'm like a third, a bottom third.
Yeah, okay. Which is and by the way, honestly, that just broadens your clientele and your approach because then you could say, when people then question like, "Oh, but have you been in different pla" You have been in different places.
I've shot a wedding. Oh, no, sorry. I photographed I took pictures at weddings. It happened again. I keep saying it. I took pictures of people at weddings in I started in the UK actually. Then I've done German weddings, I have done Italian weddings, and I have been a lot on the Dutch border. So it's like the range that I usually captured. What do you mean?
Oh my
What are you
god.
laughing at?
I think it's bizarre, man, because I like I told you, like I
That's
as a
probably smaller than one of your coasts.
it's just like it's crazy because the amount of photographers I've spoken to and just your approach and your adversity is just incredible. That's
Thank you.
that's like Th that's why, like, you have a good point. It's, like, not just necessarily being an artist, but also being a master of your craft. I think that's another one of those key elements to being successful in your own right, not based on
Yeah.
somebody else's. It's just being able to be a master of the craft to the point, like I said but earlier, you can enter it in fucking heads on, and you got that.
Mm.
Grabbing it by the balls.
Cool.
Uh,
I think I might need to,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like, shoot.
Yeah, 100%, man. I wanted to before I let you go, we've talked a lot about your work. I know you also do marketing as well. Your website, your social media. Of course, I'm gonna tag you in once this episode goes out. But for anybody that's planning on doing a wedding in Germany, which believe it or not, some Americans do want to do weddings abroad. Where can they find you?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, my website, Jonathan Schuessler on everything. Also, for my marketing stuff, mainly Schuessler. They can also find me on LinkedIn there. I haven't been too active there, but I am gonna be very active over the winter. And yeah, check me out. Hit me up if you have any questions. If you're looking for good looking venues in Germany, I have tons of videos on my YouTube and my TikTok. On my YouTube, they're a lot more structured. Um, yeah, was great being here. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure, my man. And thank you so much for taking the time coming out here. And I just, again, we got a different approach to photography, a different approach to marketing, and some tips and spoilers. Little spoilers. We got sneak peeks. To anybody out there, if you want to check out more of the podcast, you can find us at Lost in the Groove Pod. We are everywhere and anywhere, and Rumble and so with that, we will catch you. All right, peace out.